Welcome to the lesson of development. This lesson is designed to build your understanding and knowledge about the world's development and its futures. The purpose of this lesson is to provide you with the knowledge and understanding necessary to be able to know the concept of development. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to know what development means. You will also be able to distinguish between developed and undeveloped countries together with their locations. You will be able to know why some countries are rich while some countries are poor, together with the factors that affect development. By achieving the learning outcomes, you will be able to know the concept development and everything that is associated with it. Development geography. Development geography is a branch which refers to the standard of living and its quality of life and inhabitants. In this context, development is a process of change that affects people's lives. It may involve an improvement in the quality of life as perceived by the people undergoing change. People in the whole universe are seeking development, but however, development is not always a positive process. Countries can be classified as developed or undeveloped. Developed countries are countries which are more economically developed and they can maintain the needs of their civilians. Most of developed countries are countries which in history they had colonized those countries which are considered undeveloped. Meanwhile, undeveloped countries are countries which are less economically developed and they are unable to maintain the standard of their civilians. Now let's move to the indicators of development. These indicators measure how wealthy a country is. The first one is gross domestic product, GDP. The GDP indicator measures the wealth of a country in terms of total value of goods and services it produces in 1 year. The second one is the gross national product, the GNP. The GNP, this indicator measures the total economic output of a country, including earnings from foreign investment that are not included in GNP. It is calculated by dividing the total goods and services produced in a country by its population. Now we have the second indicator, which is Human Development Index, HDI. The HDI uses a number of indicators to give each country a development score which range from 0 to 1, with 1 being the most developed and 0 being less developed country. It's very rare or scarce to find a country being rated 1 in this HDI scale. Okay, let's move to the fourth indicator, which is life expectancy. Life expectancy, it indicates the level of economic health in a country. In less developed countries, more people die. Okay, life expectancy is the number of years a person is expected to live, which means in less developed countries, more people die due to poor health facilities and other related factors. The fifth indicator of development is infant mortality. Infant mortality, it measures the number of babies who die before they are 1 year. In less developed countries with poor health facilities, babies easily die in high numbers before they are 1. This is because in less developed countries, they do not have access to high medical standard, which results to babies dying in numbers. Now let's move to factors affecting development. The first factor that affects development is access to resources. The resources are used to produce goods and commodities which countries use for trade. A country that has natural resources is more likely to develop in a sense that when a country has more resources. It is able to produce goods and sell them and make profit. And other countries can also come and buy those resources for their own use, which means that country would have made more money. The second factor is energy. Development requires energy through process of industrialization. Okay, countries with more energy resources such as oil and coal have high chances of being developed. And the third factor is history of a country. A country's political history also affects development. Countries that were engaged in wars, most of them are not developed. This is because other countries would prefer to trade with countries that are civilized. When there's a war in a country, other countries that not prefer to trade with that country or to invest in that country because their investments may be demolished through wars. Okay, we have trade imbalance. When developed when developing countries are importing more than they are exporting, this holds back the development of that country as it will be spending more than making a profit. Trade imbalance occurs when a country is buying more than it's producing. There should be a trade balance. A country should also sell as much as it's buying. In that way, there will be a trade balance and the country's economy can be stable. Another factor is population growth. Countries that have a rapid population growth they have low rate of development as it's difficult to provide for everybody's needs. When a country has more people, it's very scarce for that country to provide for that people. We can give an example of countries such as Nigeria. Those people, that country is unable to maintain its civilians. Hence, Nigerians people are found all over the country, all over the world. Education and training. Countries that have poor educational facilities and low standard of education are unlikely to develop. Educated people are familiar with the act of family planning and they prefer small families. That means when people are being educated in numbers in a country, it hinders them from having large families, which means it is possible for those countries to be developed. Now, I have few questions which I would like to ask you guys to see if you understand the content. Okay, the first question is can someone tell us the meaning of the word development? The second question is name five factors that affect development. And the third question is how does factors such as HIV and AIDS together with country's history hinder development of a country? What can be done to develop African countries that are still undeveloped? The last question will be does development in a country happen suddenly or it takes time to develop the country? As we conclude the lesson of the day, I have a homework for you. Before you could attempt your homework, go and read the scripts which I've given you, which has a scenario of a country which was once rich by the name of Zimbabwe. The scenario will indicate everything how the country was once rich before it gained independence and how it has lost everything during the course and how its state of economy has moved from better to worse. The questions of the homework are as follows. Indicate how political motives have played a role in deteriorating the economy of Zimbabwe. The second question is describe how sanctions from European nations have weakened the state of economy in Zimbabwe. Third question, how does poverty in Zimbabwe also affect neighboring countries such as South Africa? What can be done to reinstate economy of Zimbabwe to its strongest state? The last question, which is the fifth, is: did the current government play a role in deteriorating the economy of Zimbabwe? Motivate your answer. Okay, guys, good luck. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see each other tomorrow. Bye bye.